What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Hattie here, and today I am at Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham. Thank you very much, Si. Shout out, because I'm using his beloved podcast room. It is the ideal place to film. Essentially today it's going to be a bit more of a sit down, chatty update kind of style. So yeah, let's get into it. Turn up. So for those of you that know, I have mentioned it quite a lot already on my channel that I am not natural. And to be honest, there's been a lot of opinions, a lot. And it is what it is. I'm all for hearing different people's opinions and things like that. But I guess the only thing that actually truly bothers me in terms of like the comments that I get, which a lot of the time I'm not bothered, but it's when people state their opinion as factual. That's what bothers me. So yeah, I just wanted to basically sit down and talk about my experience is the main thing, my experience on PEDs, what I've been taking, the reasons why. Again, I have already done another video on it, so this was prior to going on actual enhancers. So if you want to go and watch it, go check it out. But yeah, my experience, obviously plans going forward in terms of assistance and diet and bodybuilding and stuff like that. So yeah, basically, I started GH, which is growth hormone, back in April 22, I believe it was, or 23. I can't even remember now. Either way, I've been on growth for a very long time. Now, in my opinion, yes, you are now not natural if you're on growth. However, it is not an actual quote-unquote steroid. It's not in the same realms as some things because it doesn't cause any virilization. It has very, very minimal side effects in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the bracket of steroids. And in my personal opinion, it's probably the safest one to use in terms of minimal risk and side effects to it. So I have been on growth. I will not be discussing any of my personal dosages because I am not a coach. I'm not a doctor. I am not here to promote or advise. Literally just give my opinion, almost a little bit of awareness, because I've said it before, I never really had this prior to going on cycle and having a look at other people's experiences and opinions before I made the decision and the jump to do it myself. So I feel like me putting my opinion and experience out there, again, everyone's different, no one's going to be the same, but I feel if I were to be honest, one, everybody understands and I can be as transparent as possible, but also give a little bit of an insight to people out there if it's already something they're thinking about. Do not take this as gospel. Do not take this as everything that my experience is going to be the same as yours. If it is something you decide to do, seek actual general advice as well. I've spoken to many people in the industry, pro bodybuilders, doctors who deal with my blood tests, everything like that. So yeah, make sure you do your own personal research. So yeah, as I said, I've been on growth for a long time now. I have also used clenbuterol, which is essentially a fat burner for bodybuilders when they're in a diet phase. It does have properties which can aid muscle growth as well, but the main reason why people use it is for fat burning assistance. So I use that in a diet phase, and I have been in a diet phase and I have been using that. I've also been using yohimbine, which is not technically classed as an assistance in terms of you can still take it even if you're natural. I have been taking metformin to help with insulin sensitivity and regulation. And recently, more importantly, I started my first cycle of Primo. That was, I think, about 3 months ago now. So the first cycle that I did was 6 weeks long. My dose in particular, weekly, I cut it in half. So I did 2 jabs a week. I did it on a Wednesday and a Saturday, but it was based on my overall dosage. I just wanted to cut it down so it wasn't just one big blast in one go. Personal preference. Again, I did a lot of research prior to going on it, and I've had a lot of people say, oh, well, why not use Anavar? Why not use this? Someone even mentioned, why not use Winstrol? Me personally, Winstrol was a very old school bodybuilder usage drug in terms of like, people would use it, you can still use it, but there's more research now coming out about different things. I personally, based on the potential side effects, wanted to go for Primo. The reason why I chose Primo over Anavar is because Anavar is an oral, so it's a tablet form. Primobolan, is an injectable form. So when you go for injection over oral, you are bypassing the liver and everything internally. I personally wanted to do that. Also, it means that because I'm not in competition prep at the moment, I've just been doing a diet and essentially a test run to see how my body reacts to a form of PED. I wanted to use Anavar in a prep. So more so, Anavar is used in a diet phase, in a prep, to retain the muscle. So when you are dieting, it comes to a point that your body, whilst you're losing body fat, it eats into the muscle. It's just natural. So Anavar allows you to retain as much muscle mass as possible while still dieting, keeps the fullness, everything like that. Primo is one that you would tend to use more so in a building phase, in my personal opinion. Again, you can use both in a building phase and in a diet phase. My personal preference is that Primo I would use more so in a building phase over Anavar. So again, another reason. The side effects as well are similar in terms of it can cause virilization. The negative side effects in terms of that can be a lower voice, a change of your structure in your face or your jawline, change of genitals, hair on the body. Essentially, it's more masculine features. So again, I've had a lot of people say that drugs are for men to use, this, that and the other. I get it. Men and bodybuilders do tend to use these drugs, which is why we associate them with male-only drugs. But essentially, when you are climbing the ranks in bodybuilding, you need to work to you can use your genetics, but you also need some form of assistance to go far. And I'm not unaware of that. Like, I know that I will need assistance to go as far as possible. So it's not a male-only assistance or drug, essentially. Females can use it. But yeah, that was kind of like my opinion and reasoning for going on to it. I was fully aware of the possible side effects. Me personally, the first 6 weeks that I took it, I was monitoring everything. I was checking in with my coach. I was monitoring my voice with friends around me. There's also apps that you can get as well to kind of check the range and how your voice is and if it's fluctuating. Obviously, visually, you can see if anything is possibly changing. Me personally, no negative side effects. Now, that's not to say that further down the road, if I were to go back on cycle, that my chance of, again, having no side effects is the same. There's still risk. If anything, there's more risk because you've already exposed your body once to it. So I'm not unaware of that. In terms of the pros that I got from being on cycle, me personally, I benefited a lot. My body reacted really, really well. The pumps were insane. My strength in my shoulders went through the roof. My upper strength has never been amazing, but when I went on cycle, it definitely was, okay, this is improving. Like, I've never lifted this sort of weight on my upper. Recovery was amazing. My recovery's always been pretty good since going on growth anyway, but sleep was even better. Recovery was good. The ability to do more volume in my sessions was better, pumps, everything. So there was a lot more pros than cons. Again, that's not to say that going forward, it's going to be the same experience. So that being said, I finished that cycle about a month ago. Everything's been fine. I haven't noticed any kind of like delayed onset side effects or anything like that. I've had my bloods checked. Everything is fine. It is in the best possible range and place as possible. I think the only issue that I had was it like kind of like a little bit of a liver thing? I don't know, but I checked with the doctor and they said, yeah, it's absolutely fine. Like, it was barely even out the range. It was fine. My natural hormone level, everything like that. I'm not on hormonal contraception, so my normal hormones, kosher, very, very good, which is always good. And I'm very, very particular in terms of making sure that my health is as good as it can be. Now, you always take a risk when you are using performance enhancing drugs, but you can still be careful, you can still be safe, and that is what I'm doing. I'm not stupid. And again, it's my own choice. I know a lot of people out there would say, no, don't do it, but this is my choice, and obviously it's my goal to pursue bodybuilding and to be good and competitive, so that's the route that I've taken. So yeah, I've been off it a while now. As I said, I have been dieting. I've done lots of updates on the channel as well. I have been dieting for a very, very long time, I can't lie. And I've had blips, I've had moments that I've struggled, I can't lie, but I'm not on a competition prep, which has kind of changed things in terms of my mentality towards it, is because in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not getting on stage, so it's just one of those things. So for me, I am planning on coming out of this diet in the next week or two. So we are the 17th of September today. So hopefully, yeah, in the next week or two, I will have finished and be reversing, at which point we will then implement Primo again. I'm sticking with the same dosage. My growth has never changed. I've been injecting that every day. All other orals have not changed. Again, eventually it will come to the point that coming out of the diet, my dosage of Clen will change and it will be taken out because you don't want to run that for too long. But yeah, I will be starting my second cycle of Primo. Now you have to make sure that you leave enough gaps in between each cycle. Primo is done as a cycle, be that men or women. You can only do a short period of time on it. Again, I'll be monitoring everything. I'll be seeing how my body responds and go from there. But at the moment, I haven't personally got anything negative to say about it. Again, I am not telling you to go on it. Do your research. If it's something you want to do, you know, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and it's for you. Also, another thing to address is I have done a cycle, yes. However, my look isn't purely down to the use of drugs. It's not. I don't want people getting it twisted and looking at my most recent check-in and be like, well, she only looks like that because of drugs. I'm not saying that my physique is amazing. If anything, I'm very, very self-critical of my physique and I find it very hard to pick out good parts and good aspects. So I know that I've got a lot to improve and work on in terms of my look, which is good. But my physique at the moment, one, I'm dieting, so I'm going to look leaner and more muscular in certain places. I have been in an off season for 2.5 years now. So I've been actively growing and building muscle for a very long time. And also I carry a lot of fat on my lower body. So even though I'm dieting, I'm still sitting very heavy for me personally. So my look at the moment isn't just down to drugs. It has helped, but minutely. Like it's not a magic pill. It doesn't change your physique overnight. So for people looking at me thinking, oh well, she only looks like that because she's done drugs, don't kind of misinterpret it. There is a lot that goes on behind closed doors in terms of years of training, consistency, nutrition, the type of training that you're doing, everything like that to look how you want to look. Again, further down the line, once I've done multiple courses, if that is the case, multiple courses of drugs, there will be a point that I will look more muscular, more defined. That is the goal, essentially. So people's opinions on me looking how I do now, if you prefer me now, cool, that's your opinion. But as I was saying at the start, the bit that bothers me is like, you're going to turn into a man. You're going to look like this. You're going to look like that. One, I might want to. Maybe that's my goal. Maybe my goal is to actively build muscle and look fucking henny. You know, who would have thought? But also your opinion on saying that I will look manly, that is your opinion. Like, it's just one of those things. Bodybuilding is not to everybody's taste. I completely get that. So yeah, my goal is to not look how I do now going forward. I will be reversing and going into another growth phase before prep officially starts early next year, probably about March, April time. I will of course keep you all updated in terms of that. I will keep you updated along the course of this and how I find Primo, if anything changes. But yeah, I'm not going to be getting any leaner than what I am now. I want to maintain as good a body comp as I possibly can. So minimal body fat, not rebounding out of this diet phase like I have done previously and just got fat. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Again, actively building more muscle. This is my choice. This is my opinion. Bodybuilding to me is a sport. It is an actual sport, a competitive sport that people work hard for. And it's their choice how they want to look. And this is me. This is my personal opinion. This is what I want to do. And it's where I want to go and grow into. So yeah, by all means have your opinion, but just be careful and wary when you give your opinion that you don't make it come across as factual, because opinions and facts are very, very different things. But yeah, I just wanted to sit down and kind of like go into a little bit of detail about where things are at, what I'm doing. I will probably give another physique update in the next week or two just to show visuals. But yeah, other than that, I will be finishing my diet very soon, which I'm excited for. Bring on the sushi. And just kind of going into my last growth phase, because as I said, I do enjoy a good off season with a bit more of a relaxed approach and just training fucking hard. Like, that is why I love this sport. I love being able to train, and that's another thing. Primo did help massively with my strength, so it was good and bad for the ego. I will say that. But yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at personally. As I said, this is all me putting it here for just clarity for some people, but also I know that when I was in a position that I wanted to do research and see other people's personal experiences, there wasn't really much going on out there. So if I can be that person to give you my opinion, that's it. I'm not telling you to go on drugs, not in any way, shape or form saying this is what you should do. Again, my opinion, my body, my goals and my ambitions, and I understand the negatives and the possible side effects. I am fully aware. I'm not stupid. So yeah, that's kind of like what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. If you do have any questions, pop it in the comments or follow me on my Instagram and go and give me a message over there. I'm more than happy to speak to you individually, directly. If you want any more information on my personal experience, again, I'm not going into dosage because I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. I don't want you to think, yeah, this is what Hattie takes, so I'm going to go and take it. No, I am not a medical professional. Do not take this as factual, and this is going to be the same for you. Everybody is individual, so I just want to give my opinion, give my experience and how I found certain things, where I'm at, the reasons, everything like that. So yeah, as I said, if you have any questions, let me know. If you're intrigued on anything in particular, you want to see anything else, you want anything else on the channel for me to discuss anything at all, just let me know. Pop it in the comments, or as always, follow my Instagram and let me know on there. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the little catch-up ramble for today's session. And other than that, stay tuned for the next one.